Hello, Boone County. This is your Superintendent, Matt Turner. I'm here to answer a few additional questions for you for the reopening of schools. With parents making their choices to have in-person instruction or virtual instruction, we are going to be working to compile all of that data, all that information, and work together with our district staff and our school principals to determine how we can best and safely bring our kids back to school for those choosing that in-person instructional model, and how we can have a strong, rigorous virtual instructional model to go with that as well. So it's going to take us some time to work through that data. I anticipate that sometime in the following week, we'll be able to communicate whether or not we'll be doing full in-person instruction, meaning the percentage of students that's selected to do in-person instruction, or whether we'll need to use a hybrid model to safely have school and effectively reduce the number of students in our building. As I'd mentioned before, with a hybrid model, if we have an A-B type of schedule, that we will effectively reduce the students in the building by 50%. Therefore, we can more safely have class each and every day. So with that being said, we're going to be looking at those numbers and determining which is going to be the best path, and then we're going to need to specifically plan for putting students into an A-B schedule if that's the case. And that's going to take us a little bit of time, because we do want to honor the request that we're hearing from our parents to have families on the same schedule, so that brothers and sisters are in school on the same day, so that parents can work on those daycare schedules and childcare schedules that are going to be important with this type of schedule in place. Again, the overall standard that we're working to meet here is making sure that we safely and appropriately have school for our students and for our staff. We will be keeping a close eye on the situation in our community and across our state. Again, with our model that we've put into place here, the structure, if you will, that as a district we can flow between a red status, a yellow status, and a green status, depending on that situation. So right now we're planning for all three of those possibilities, to be quite honest, with the information that our parents are giving us for their choice. So regardless of whether we start in-person instruction, possibly on some type of hybrid schedule, or there's a decision made that we can't start school in person right now, we need to wait for the situation in the community and in our state to change, we're going to need to be able to be ready to go either direction. So that's why it's going to take us a little bit of time to plan and have that model in place that we can seamlessly move back and forth depending on the conditions in our community. In terms of individual student schedules, our schools are building their master schedules. Some have already been built. So we're going to have to be doing some fine-tuning on those. If we have a hybrid model that we're going to be using, that we are going to need to align those schedules so that brothers and sisters are on the same daily schedule. So that's going to be important for us to do. It's going to take us a little bit of time to work through that as a group of administrators and principals across the district. So I would anticipate that information coming out probably a couple weeks into August. Certainly it'll be well before school starts, but it's going to take us some time to make sure that we're meeting the needs of our students in terms of the classes they want, and in terms of making sure that they're going to be safe at school, and we're ready to start when the August 25th gets here. Well, first I'd like to thank all of our parents and all of our students for working through very difficult times, very complex times for all of us. Starting school has been a huge challenge for us, and so in putting this choice in front of parents and students for in-person instruction or virtual instruction, I just want to acknowledge how difficult a choice that is and how personal a choice that is, that there's so many factors that go into that, and I understand and when I show some empathy towards everyone on the stress that creates on you. It does allow us to try to meet the needs of all of our students and all of our parents as best as we possibly can. So I just want to acknowledge the difficulty of the situation. We've had lots of questions posed to us by parents, and we've been able to answer many of those questions, and we are posting common questions on our school website and putting as much information on our school website as we possibly can. So I want to encourage people to look at that, but also I want to say that there are some questions that we don't quite know the answer to yet because we're working out all those details with our principals still. So I just want to thank everyone, but also encourage, please keep communicating with us. We'll continue to put information out and to try to keep you up to date as best as we possibly can as we get closer to the start of the school year. The first resource that parents should use if they still have questions about their specific child, their needs, their schedule, should be their school principals. Call the school office, talk to the school principals or the school staff there to work to get answers. They're going to have information about schedules, about some of the plans, some of the specifics about how the school may operate, and some of the classes that may be offered. I know there's some concerns about different classes and things of that nature. So call the school principals. They'll be able to help. They may not have all the answers for you right away as we're working through this process, trying to ensure that we have strong master schedules in place, and then we're working towards the restart on the 25th. But they're going to be able to give you a good idea of where they stand right now, and it may just be a little bit of time before they can get that exact answer for you. But stay in touch with them. We'll work to put out as much general information about the process and how we're moving forward and when things will be happening. So we'll do everything we can to try to keep parents in the loop, but call your school specifically to get some of those specific questions taken care of.